What if time isn't as fixed as we believe? What if, just for a moment, the barrier between present and future can break, allowing someone to step through? Throughout history, there have been strange accounts of people who claimed they traveled forward in time. And more disturbing, they returned with details, warnings, and in some cases, evidence. These stories sit on the edge of reality, where fact and fiction blur. But the question remains, what if even one of them is true? 1. John Titor's future warnings. In the early 2000s, an online user calling himself John Titor appeared on internet forums claiming to be a soldier from the year 2036. He described a future filled with conflict, technological shifts, and a divided world. What made his story unsettling was the level of detail. He even shared diagrams of a supposed time machine. While many dismissed him as a hoax, others still analyze his predictions today, wondering if he revealed more truth than fiction. 2. Andrew Carlssin's stock market mystery. In 2003, a man named Andrew Carlssin was reportedly arrested for making impossible gains in the stock market, turning a small investment into millions in a matter of days. When questioned, he allegedly claimed to be from the future and said he knew exactly which stocks would rise. Soon after his arrest, he vanished from public records, leaving behind a mystery that still raises eyebrows. 3. The man from Taured. In 1954, a traveler arrived in Tokyo carrying a passport from a country that didn't exist, Taured. The man insisted his nation had been around for centuries and even pointed to its location on a map, somewhere between France and Spain. Confused officials detained him in a hotel room. But the next morning, he was gone, along with his documents. The case became known as the story of the man from Taured. 4. Charlotte and Moberly and the time slip. In 1901, two English women, including Charlotte and Moberly, visited the gardens of Versailles. While walking, they claimed the environment suddenly changed. People wore old-fashioned clothing. The atmosphere felt unnatural, and they believed they had stepped into the past. But some interpretations suggest it may have been a time slip in reverse, a brief crossing of timelines that hints at how fragile time might be. 5. The Philadelphia experiment survivor. Rumors from World War II tell of a secret U.S. Navy experiment known as the Philadelphia experiment. It supposedly aimed to make ships invisible, but some claim it accidentally caused time displacement. One alleged survivor later spoke of being thrown forward through time, experiencing flashes of the future before returning. Official records deny it ever happened, but the story refuses to disappear. 6. Rudolph Fentz, the man out of time. In 1950, a man suddenly appeared in the middle of a busy New York street, dressed in old-fashioned 1800s clothing. Seconds later, he was struck by a car. When authorities examined his belongings, they found items from the 19th century, all perfectly preserved. The man was later identified as Rudolph Fentz, who had reportedly vanished decades earlier without explanation. 7. Victor Goddard's future airfield. In 1935, British Air Marshal Victor Goddard was flying over an abandoned airfield in Scotland. Suddenly, the weather changed, and the airfield appeared fully operational, with modern planes and personnel in uniforms that didn't yet exist. Moments later, everything returned to normal. Years later, the airfield was renovated exactly as he had seen it. 8. The Moberly, Jourdain incident revisited. Another account tied to the Versailles time anomaly includes Eleanor Jourdain, who accompanied Moberly. Both women independently described seeing figures from another time period. Some researchers believe they didn't travel backward, but instead slipped into a distorted overlap of timelines, suggesting time itself may not be linear. 9. The time traveler at the bridge opening. In a famous old photograph from the reopening of a bridge in Canada, one man stands out. Wearing modern sunglasses, casual clothing, and holding what looks like a portable camera, decades before such items were common. The image became known as the time traveler photo, sparking theories that he didn't belong to that time at all. 10. The future glimpses that shouldn't exist. There are countless smaller stories, people claiming they saw future cities, advanced technology, or events that hadn't happened yet. Most are dismissed. Some are forgotten. But a few remain, because their details are too specific, too strange, and too consistent to ignore completely. Conclusion. So what do all these stories have in common? People stepping outside of time, even if only for a moment. Some return with warnings, others with evidence. and some never returned at all. Maybe these are just coincidences, hoaxes, or misunderstood events. Or maybe, time isn't a straight line. Maybe it bends. Maybe it breaks. And maybe, just maybe, someone, somewhere, has already seen the future.